What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into One Piece chapter 1160, and honestly, this chapter felt less like manga panels and more like a full-blown movie. Oda delivered one of the most brutal, emotional, and lore-packed chapters we've seen in years. This wasn't just about the Celestial Dragons and their twisted games. No, this chapter was about family, about how the God Valley incident broke apart, reshaped, and completely redefined the lives of the Monkey family, the Rocks Pirates, Shanks, and even Blackbeard. By the end of this chapter, you'll see why God Valley wasn't just a legendary battle. It was the moment that set the stage for everything in One Piece today. The cover story sets the mood perfectly. We see Yamato returning to the Flower Capital, stopping at the shrine built for Odin and his allies. It's a touching moment of remembrance that reminds us how legacies shape the present. But then the main story slams us right into the nightmare of God Valley. The newly discovered Davy clan, descendants of the infamous Davy Jones, are dragged before the Celestial Dragons, and instantly, the nobles despise them. The hatred intensifies when it's revealed some carry Buccaneer blood, giving them massive builds. The nobles respond with violence, throwing weapons in blind rage, and in the middle of this chaos, we glimpse a small child, 2-year-old Marshall D. Teach, better known as Blackbeard. His mother shields him as best as she can, but every moment of cruelty is burned into his eyes. At that age, memories become core imprints. This is Blackbeard's first trauma, the seed that would one day twist him into one of the most dangerous pirates alive. But Blackbeard isn't the only future legend scarred by this day. Elsewhere on God Valley, we meet a red-haired mother who knows her end is near. She begs Dragon for one thing, that her children, Shanks and Shamrock, be raised by someone with kindness, not by their father. Her face is never shown, her name is unknown, but her plea strikes deep into Dragon's heart. Even though these are strangers to him, Dragon feels a responsibility. He thinks, if he can't even save innocent children, how could he ever claim to stand for justice? This moment plants the spark of rebellion in Dragon. It's no exaggeration to say the Revolutionary Army began here, with one mother's dying wish. Then the horror truly begins. The Celestials announce their twisted game. The victims, treated like prey, are scattered across the island. Some are considered rare, others super rare, like Kuma, worth massive points. Their one goal is survival for 3 weeks, but everyone knows it's impossible. The nobles unleash chaos, chasing families through the forests, riding giant birds, and laughing as they slaughter innocents. Parents beg for mercy, children cry for help, and all of it is broadcast to the Holy Land as entertainment. For Dragon, this becomes the breaking point. He sees firsthand what happens to the civilians he and his platoon rounded up. Unlike other Marines who simply follow orders, Dragon witnesses the cruelty of the Celestial Dragons up close. He nearly vomits at the sight of babies being executed. At that moment, he realizes he cannot serve this system any longer. The turning point comes when Dragon encounters Kuma, a Celestial Dragon, thrilled at the prospect of another kill, lines up his rifle. Just before the shot is fired, another bullet cracks through the air, but it's not Kuma who falls, it's the Celestial. Dragon had pulled the trigger. He tranquilized the Celestial Dragon. In that instant, Dragon commits the one sin Marines are forbidden to even think about, harming a world noble, and he does it not for glory, not for promotion, but to protect innocent lives. This is the exact moment Dragon begins his transformation from a dutiful soldier into the most dangerous revolutionary in history. And the craziest part, this entire incident is being broadcast to the Holy Land. Every noble sees Dragon's act of rebellion, a Marine defying their twisted game. It's unthinkable, and yet it just happened. Just when the island couldn't get any bloodier, the sea erupts with explosions. The Rocks Pirates arrive. Rocks D. Zebek, Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, Shiki, absolute monsters storm God Valley, each with their own agenda. For most, it's about treasure and devil fruits. But for Rocks, this is personal. He's here for his family. The pirates clash with Marines and nobles alike, tearing the island into chaos. Whitebeard, Shiki, and the rest even bicker over Shakuyaku, the woman they're trying to rescue. It's messy, hilarious at times, but also tragic. For Rocks, this is no longer just piracy, it's survival. Meanwhile, Dragon runs through fire and smoke with Shanks and Shamrock in his arms. Neither child cries, even in such terrifying circumstances. A silent hint at their willpower, or maybe even the spark of Conqueror's haki. Not long after, the Roger pirates storm the scene. Roger declares that he's here to save Shaki, though his crew jokes about treasure instead. They bring their usual chaotic energy, but behind the laughs, they're still a force to be reckoned with. Then the true monsters reveal themselves. The Holy Knights. New faces, terrifying powers, and designs that scream danger. Among them are warriors so deadly that even Dragon recognizes. This is when the real revolution must begin. The war at God Valley has reached its peak. Pirates, Marines, Celestials, and Revolutionaries all clashing in one massive battlefield. And then the sea splits once again. A colossal cannonball flies across the sky, wiping out swathes of pirates. The Navy cheers in relief as reinforcements arrive. It's Vice Admiral Garp. With his fleet behind him, Garp charges into battle. Marines cry tears of joy, hailing him as their savior. This is the moment that would etch Garp into history as the hero of the Marines. But here's the heartbreaking contrast. While Dragon weeps at the atrocities he's seen, Garp smiles. For him, this is another battlefield, another chance to clash with his rival Roger. Two men, father and son, standing on the same island, but walking in opposite directions forever. And that, my friends, is why chapter 1160 is so important. God Valley wasn't just a legendary battle, it was the breaking point for the entire future of One Piece. The legacies of Luffy's family, Dragon and Garp, were shaped here in completely opposite ways. One walked away disgusted with justice, the other celebrated as its symbol. So let me ask you guys, was Dragon the true hero of God Valley? And does Garp deserve the backlash he's getting from fans? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.